All right. Welcome, welcome. I am so excited to finally get this going. I've been trying to figure out how to use different martial arts that I've been studying together as a recovery flow type of movement. And pretty much what I've done is taken parts of yoga that I've studied, as well as animal movements that I studied, and Kalari-Flow, which is like the oldest martial art in history from India. And I've taken just little bits and pieces of each one of those and kind of formed it into a good recovery day. So that's what we're going to go ahead and get started with. If you haven't already, I would suggest just like a light warm up to get nice and warm. So like this is either, I just did like 5 minutes of a jump rope, but like jump rope, or you can go for a mild jog. Something just nothing, not anything that's like too intense. Like you just kind of want to ease into it so that your heart rate's a little bit elevated. And like, look, I'm already like a little bit sweaty. So if you haven't already, go ahead and pause this now and get your run in. Go, go, go. All right, so I'm assuming that you went and ran. Congratulations, good job. Or did your jump rope. Also, congratulations. We're gonna go ahead and get started with this flow. All right, so make sure you have enough space. You will need a little bit more space than normal for this, but let's get started. So you're gonna start with your feet just standing width apart. And all I want you to do is bring your hands out in front of you just like this. And I want you to inhale, bringing them out to your sides. Exhale, bringing them back together. So inhale, exhale, back together. And if you want to add a little bit more to this, when you inhale, you're going to inhale, come up to your toes. Exhale, back down. Inhale, exhale. Nice and slow. We're working on our deliberate movements, not so much speed. Good, let's do 2 more. Last one. Good, now we're gonna go diagonally. So I'm gonna have my left arm come down first. Inhale, exhale. I'm gonna go diagonal towards the other side. Inhale, exhale. Same thing. Inhale, exhale. Good, you wanna take it a little bit more advanced. Come up onto your toes, same thing. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, up on your toes. Exhale, back down. One more each side. Good, and relax. Shake your arms out. Little ankle rotations. All right, so breathe in, bringing your arms up overhead. Exhale, bending at the waist, letting your spine round over your feet, forward fold. Coming back up, so my arms out to the outside, inhale. And exhale, back down the center. Inhale up. Exhale down the center. And relax those shoulders. One more. Good, and return back to standing. All right, I'm gonna have my feet nice and wide, almost into what's called a horse stance in Tai Chi, okay? So legs just slightly bent, my feet are gonna, my toes are gonna be pointing out towards the sides. I don't need to have them perfectly straight on for this one, okay? Just gonna twist towards each side of my leg, okay? So hands at your chest. I want you to inhale, take a deep breath in the middle. Exhale, twist. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, twist. Back to the center, inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. You want to add a little bit more advance to this. What you can do is inhale to the center. Exhale, I'm going to twist and sit down into like a wide squat for this, okay? Come back up, inhale, exhale, other side. Keep going. So what you want to use while you're doing this, keep on going with this motion while I'm speaking. What you want to do is use a heated breath while you're doing this. So I'm inhaling through my nose and I'm exhaling again through my nose, but almost like trying to make like the ocean sound in the back of your like nasal cavity, right? So I'm breathing in, exhaling. Okay, so I'm doing this with my mouth closed though, right? So kind of sounds like the ocean, right? So this is gonna be elevating your body temperature and make you a little bit more sweaty, right? So inhale. Almost like a forced sigh. Give me one more. Good. Keep this stance. It's gonna be nice and wide. What I want to do is I'm gonna twist towards my torso and I want to forward bend over one side of my legs. Okay. I'm gonna come back up, twist. I'm gonna forward fold over the other side. Still keeping that breath. Inhale on the way up, twist and exhale. Inhale, twist, exhale. Inhale, twist, exhale. Keep on going at your own pace. Inhale on the way up, exhale down. Give me two more. Last one. Good, and relax. Get nice and sweaty, isn't it? We're not even moving that much. All right, so our next thing, what we're gonna do is going to be a leg swing through, all right? So I'm gonna start, your arms are gonna be up overhead just like this. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space because this is gonna be a walking movement. So if you have like a corridor or a hallway that you can walk down, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna show you once from the front and then I'll do it sideways as well. So my arms are gonna be up, overhead, trying to keep as vertical as possible, right? I'm gonna get into my kickstand. So just one leg in front of the other, all right? It doesn't really matter which side's which. I'm gonna start with my right leg in front because I'm left-handed because of my normal stance. All right, so I'm gonna be here. What I'm gonna do is kick through with my back leg, come back into my stance, and then I'm gonna step through, okay? So now I'm gonna kick through with my back leg again, which is now the opposite leg. Kick through, back into my stance, step forward. Kick through, back, come forward. Like I said, I'm gonna do the same thing sideways, just so you can kind of see where I'm going. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you map this in your head, it's a little bit easier to understand. So arms up, shoulders down. I don't want my shoulders up on my ears. This is gonna cause a little bit more tension. So arms up, sat down in my shoulders. I'm in my split stance. I'm gonna have my back leg kick up, come back into my stance. I'm gonna step through, okay? So now I'm in my opposite stance that I originally was in. So now my new back leg, which is my right leg now, is gonna kick through, kick, back into my stance, step through, all right? So now back in my regular stance, I'm kicking through here. And what I'm gonna do, let's say you are in that narrow corridor, you're gonna use that kick to turn yourself around, okay? So I'm here, and now I'm in my new stance. All right, I'll do a few of them with you this way, and then I'll do a few facing you and away from you, and just kind of take your time with it, go slow. Like I said, this is a recovery day. We're just trying to move our body a little bit in order to like make sure, we're still staying strong and healthy. So arms up, chest up. I'm gonna start in my stance. So my back leg is gonna kick through, back into my stance, step forward, kick through, back, step forward. Once you get to the end of the space that you have, all you're gonna do is kick through and then rotate towards the side of the kick, okay? So I'm kicking through, let's say this is the end. All I'm gonna do is just now turn towards that side that I kicked, okay? So keep on going at your own pace. You can either follow me or progress on your own, all right? Here, kick, step through, kick, step through, kick, step through, kick. I'm gonna turn, okay? Now kick, step through, kick, step through, kick, step through. I've run out of room. Just gonna turn around. Kick, step through. Notice I'm changing, subtly changing and shifting my weight from one foot to the other. So I'm not just trying to shift my weight to one leg. I'm kind of like gliding back to back. All right, so notice the weight difference from step to step, all right? So shifting to my front leg, back leg, front leg, back leg, front leg, back leg, front leg, back leg. Through, step through. Back leg, front leg, back leg, front leg. It's almost like a dance. All right, let's do one last set of this. Last one. All right, and relax. Grab a quick sip of water and take a little bit of a rest. I still haven't been able to properly find out how to play music through Zoom without it like cutting out whenever I talk, and I talk a lot. So the playlist I'm listening to right now, I don't think you guys can hear it because Zoom is awesome with their noise cancellation, but it's called Meditation Fighter on Spotify. If you guys want to check that out, I'm also gonna link it in the video below so you guys can follow along. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next phase of our recovery. So we're gonna start on the ground. Okay, this is more of a yoga flow transition. So we went from kind of generally opening up, getting a little bit of movement, getting a little bit of sweat worked up. Now we're gonna work on our groundwork, all right? So we're gonna start in our downward dog, which hands are gonna be underneath your shoulders, just like this. And I'm just gonna tuck my toes under and push my hips up towards the ceiling. Okay. So get in this position. I like to kind of what they call walk the dog by keeping one leg straight, alternating each side. Get a nice hamstring stretch. Take inventory of where your body's at right now. All right, you can do this as often as you like, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kick my left leg up towards the ceiling, and I'm gonna bring my knee in towards my chest. I'm gonna kick it through underneath me, just like this. All right, so once I'm here, I'm gonna open up into my star pose. Hand back down to the ground. I'm gonna bring this leg all the way back up to where it was in my downward dog. And now instead of collapsing in, I'm gonna go step outward into a bridge. Okay, kick back over, bring that knee to your chest, kick it back up, and back into my downward dog. So this is gonna be our resting position. Walk it out again. Good, now we're gonna do the other side. So since I just did my left leg, I'm now gonna do my right. So I'm kicking this up, knee to my chest, kicking through, bringing that left arm up towards the sky. Bring your hand back down. And I'm gonna bring this leg all the way back over, and I'm kicking towards the outside to bridge my hips up towards the ceiling. Okay, hand back to the ground, bring this back up and into my downward dog. You can always take a rest if you need to. You can skip certain positions. This is all about your own recovery. All right, I'm back to my original side. Left leg kicks up, in towards the chest. I want to kick it through, bring my right arm up towards the ceiling. Right arm back down towards the ground. I'm going to bring that leg all the way back through, kicking up and over, hips towards the ceiling, push your hips up. Hand on the ground, leg follows, back into our downward dog. Good, right side. Right side kicks up. Knee comes in towards the chest, kick through. Left arm comes up towards the ceiling. Left arm comes down. Right leg kicks all the way through. Hips up towards the ceiling. Hand on the ground. Back in my downward dog. Walk it out. We're gonna do one more each side. Okay, we're gonna move a little bit quicker on this one. Left leg kicks up towards the ceiling, knee in towards your chest, kick through, open up that chest, hand back down, kick all the way through, leg on the ground, hips up towards the ceiling. Bring it back over, downward dog. Good, other side, right leg kicks up, knee towards your chest, kick through, open that up. Hand on the ground, you're gonna kick all the way through. Hips up towards the ceiling. Good, and back to my downward dog. You can either stay here or you can come down into child's pose. Good, take a quick rest. Grab some water if you need it. Kind of feel how your body's feeling. All right, and once you're done, we're gonna move on to our next flow. You can pause this and do that flow for as many times as you like. Ideally, anywhere between the 5 to 10 minute mark is perfect. All right, so we're gonna move on to our next one. We're gonna go into a standing Romanian deadlift flow, just to kind of give our wrists a little bit of a break. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm trying to figure out which angle to do this from. All right, so I'm gonna start off with my right side, just because my left side is always my weaker side. But we're gonna do a single leg deadlift, okay? I'll do it sideways. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure my toes are nice and firmly planted, my legs nice and strong, core is strong, shoulders are back. And when I kick forward into my deadlift, I wanna think of like having a rod from the top of my head down to the bottom of my left heel, all right? So if my body moves forward, my leg comes up. I don't wanna move separately. I don't wanna come here and then have my legs kick back, right? That's gonna cause a lot of balance issues, okay? So what I'm gonna do is come forward as far as I feel comfortable, nice and balanced. It doesn't have to be too far. Try keeping that back foot toe pointed down towards the ground. Once I find my limit here, I'm gonna come back up, knee tuck. This leg is gonna step through into a forward lunge, okay? So I'm gonna lunge down, hands on the ground. Yeah, awesome. I'm gonna come up onto that knee, or sorry, up from that knee, and I'm gonna twist towards the front leg. Okay, so my left arm is gonna come up. Good. And back down to the ground. And while I'm still in this same position, all I'm gonna do is pivot, so I'm in my deep side lunge. And then I'm gonna come back to center, okay? I know it's a lot of steps, we'll go nice and slow, okay? So I just did standing on my right leg, so now I'm gonna stand on my left leg. So left leg is firmly planted, core is tight, shoulders are back. Now the rod is from the top of my head down to the right leg, all right? So I'm gonna come forward as far as I feel comfortable. Already losing my balance, all right? Doesn't have to be too far. Once you feel like you reach that limit, bring your knee up, stepping forward, down into that forward lunge. Good job. All right, hands are gonna be on the ground, just like this. Tuck your back toes under. Come up from that knee, and I'm gonna turn towards my front leg. Open up that chest. Good, hands back down to the ground. Now I'm gonna stay in this position and all I'm gonna do is pivot towards my left. Okay, so I'm going into a very deep side lunge. I'm gonna come back together and back up. Let's do the other side again. So this time I'll start facing you with this side, okay? So now my right leg is gonna be supporting me, nice and strong. I always think of keeping my strength from my toes all the way up instead of the other way around, right? So spreading my toes and try to really solidify myself standing on this one foot. Stability through my ankle, through my leg, through the hips. Make sure that tight core is nice and tight and square. Shoulders are back. And now I can go forward with my single leg deadlift. All right, keeping that leg back. Come up, bring that knee through, up towards your chest. I'm gonna step forward into my forward lunge. Knee all the way down to the ground. And put my hands on the ground, right in front of my foot. Tuck your back toes underneath, come up off of that knee. I'm gonna twist towards my front knee. Good, come back down. I'm gonna turn now towards my right side, keeping all of my weight towards this bent leg. Good, come together and come back up. Going with my left leg now that I'm standing on. Left leg, toes super, super strong, spread out, supporting all of me. Legs strong, glutes are kicked on, core is strong, shoulders are back. Nice and balanced, and then move. Bring that knee up, forward lunge. Move this one back just so I don't move off camera. Knee down to the ground. Hands on the ground. Tuck your toes underneath. Come up off of that knee and turn towards your front knee. Hand back on the ground. Keeping all of that weight nice over towards that bent leg, legs straight. You should feel the stretch all in the inner thigh muscle. Bring that leg in, come back up. All right, I'm gonna go a little bit less dictated through those movements. Deep breath. All right, going back to our original side. So right leg, all right? Right leg is planted. Everything's nice and firm and centered. Deep breath in, exhale, coming forward. Inhale, coming up, knee up, forward lunge, knee down to the ground, hands on the ground, tuck those back toes under, bring that leg straight, turn towards that front knee. Good, hands on the ground, turning into a side lunge, all of my weight onto my left leg. Bring that straight leg in and come up. Left side. Standing on that left leg, come forward. Bring that knee up. Forward lunge. Hands on the ground. Tuck those toes under. Come up into that lunge. And turn towards that. Hand back to the ground. Turn. Bring your leg in. And back up. Good job. Rest. I know it was tough. One of our last flows that we're gonna do is gonna be on the ground, just a mix of a few different movements, going back to our shoulders and our core. A lot of full body, we'll just say full body. How's everyone feeling? Awesome. Yeah, cool. All right. We turn this way again. So this is one of my favorite poses to try to like work into literally everything that I do. So this is called a tiger pose. So I'm gonna have my hands spread nice and wide, grounding myself underneath my shoulders. I'm gonna have my legs come up into a plank position, okay? So I need this to work by having my hips push forward. It doesn't really work too good having my hips up like this, all right? We'll come to that, but not yet. All right. So I'm in my plank. I like to widen my feet just a little bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my hips back towards my heels, keeping my hands right where they are. All right, I'm gonna come back up into my plank. I'm gonna inhale, bring my hips up towards the ceiling like a downward dog. I'm gonna come right back down into my plank. All right, let's do this again. So I'm gonna push my hips back towards my heels, come back up into my plank, hips up towards the ceiling into my downward dog, and back down into my plank. Let's do it again. Back towards your heels, tiger, plank, downward dog, and plank again. Go again, tiger, plank, downward dog, plank. Try to coordinate your breathing with this. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Go again. Inhale, tiger. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Inhale, tiger. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, plank. Go again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good job, and relax. Grab a quick drink of water if you need it. I'll actually need my timer for this last set. All right, how's everyone feeling? Good, cool. All right, so we went into starting out with a bunch of easy movement type of flows. We advanced into actual flows, so like a bunch of different poses that we're supposed to do all together. And then we did 3 of those, and now we're gonna move into our isometric work, which is just, isometric just means that the muscle is neither contracting or expanding. It's, you're challenging it while it stays in the same place. So like planks, these things that we're about to do, it'll be fun. All right, so make sure you find a nice comfy spot. Make sure your stopwatch works. There we go. Well, you don't have to make sure your stopwatch works. I have to make sure mine works. Okay, so you'll just need about, yoga's mat, yoga mat's worth of space. We're not really going to be going too far. You won't really need them. So just you, yourself, and me. All right, I like to start these by stretching out my hamstrings, all right? So I'm gonna sit with my shoulders nice and tall. I'm gonna have my hips squared under me, and all I wanna do is have my toes pointed up towards the ceiling, and I wanna try to have a flat back and stretch down towards my hamstrings. So notice I'm not like crabbing and stretching by force, right? I wanna do a nice gentle stretch for this, okay? So again, my shoulders are up, my hips are square under me, toes pointed up towards the ceiling, and I'm just gonna stretch until I feel that in my hamstring, okay? Good, breathe. Come up, and I want you to try to come down a little bit further. If you can, grab your feet, awesome. If not, just like sides of your ankles are fine, calves are fine, behind the knees is fine. All right, so come back up. So what we're gonna do from here is 30 seconds of what's called a boat pose, okay? So it's pretty much this exact same position, except we're gonna tilt back a little bit, okay? I feel like the easiest way to get into this is I'm just gonna roll my shoulders back. Think of like having a very nice flat back. And I'm just gonna support myself underneath my knees. I'm gonna bring my knees up just like this, okay? So if this feels comfortable with you, I want you to let go of your hands and keep your hands right next to your knees, okay? So that's gonna be a modified boat pose. Second position that you can also try, which is the actual boat pose, is where my legs are actually gonna be extended up just like that. So I'm gonna come back into my modified boat. And what I wanna do is I'm gonna extend my legs up. And I'm gonna keep my hands next to my legs just like this, okay? So notice the more that I left my legs straight, the more I had to counterbalance myself using my back as well as my core muscles, all right? So kind of play with it a little bit. We're gonna do 2 different sets of 30 seconds with a 10-second rest in between, and then we'll move on to our next pose, all right? So let's get ready. Choose your boat pose in 3, 2, 1, go ahead. So lean back, hands underneath your knees. If you want to extend your legs, go ahead and do so. Just try to balance. 15 seconds in. 3, 2, 1, relax. Quick rest. Okay, we're gonna do this one more time. 3, 2, 1, go ahead. If you want to try one boat pose and then modify it to the next one, or you want to try to change between the two while you're in the same position, that's fine too. Just something that challenges you, that's a little bit of fun that we can have at the end of this. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job. Yeah, I feel so strong. I'm surprisingly sweaty again. All right, our next one, we're gonna go into a nice wide goddess pose. Okay, so I'm gonna have my feet wide, just like I did before at the beginning of our class. I'm gonna have my feet pointing out towards the side. I'm gonna sit down just like this, as low as my hips allow me to, right? So we're just gonna hold it here. I'll show you from the side. Notice while I'm sitting down, I'm not trying to bring my hips forward, or my shoulders forward. I wanna try to keep my shoulders as much over my hips as possible. So nice wide stance. Come down just until you feel that strength, and then just hold it, okay? We're gonna do this for, again, 30 seconds with a 10-second rest, 30 seconds again. Get ready, 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome work. Keep it up. Stay nice and relaxed. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and come out of it. Quick rest. Let's go again in 3, 2, 1, go. Try to push down through your heels. Should be able to lift your toes up off the ground. Got about 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job. Let's get a nice forward fold for this one. Just stretch out those hamstrings. All right. Excuse me. Okay, this next one that we're gonna do is a version of a chaturanga. Probably horribly mispronouncing that. I'm sorry. But it's called a chaturanga dasandasa or something. I'm sorry. Don't kill me for pronunciation. But it's pretty much just like a low plank. All right. So first things first. Yeah, low plank, easy day, right? No, it's a lot harder than you think it is. So the reason why I really like this pose is it forces you to focus on each little detail before getting into the pose and then realize that you're doing it perfectly. Okay, so the first thing what I want to do is I'm going to take my shoulders, I'm going to shrug them up towards my shoulders, and then I'm going to roll them back. Okay, so now this is going to make my shoulders nice and flat. So if I was laying down on the ground, my shoulders would be flat, flush against the ground. Okay. Roll up, roll them back, and now my shoulders are nice and flat. My arms are, if you look at them, they're at this like 45-degree angle. I want to keep them exactly like this. This is what I'm going to be doing on the ground. Okay. So hands bent at that 45-degree angle, keeping my shoulder blades nice and flat. And I want to step back, still in this position, on my knees. Okay, so tuck your hips under, like you're about to get a baseball hit in your stomach, is what one of my clients said. And then I'm going to come up to my toes. And we're going to hold that position for 30 seconds, all right? This is a tough one. If you need to come out of it, don't worry, just kind of shake it off and go right back into it, okay? I'm gonna give myself an extra 10 seconds to get into this. All right, so ready? The shoulders back, nice and flat, hands down, tuck that pelvis under, and go. Three, 2, 1. Time. Oh, that's not an easy one. All right, I'm already so sweaty. Take a nice 10-second rest, and we're gonna go back into our last set of 30, or last one of 30 seconds. All right, rock those shoulders back, hands on the ground, tuck those hips under. Three, 2, 1, and time. Good job. Oh my goodness, I'm so sweaty. So I saved a fun one for last. This is called a crow pose. Totally optional, but you know, we just did the low plank and I feel like you can do that when you can. So I'm gonna start into like a crouch position. I'm up on the balls of my feet and my elbows are gonna be right, or my knees are gonna be right behind my elbows, okay? So I'm putting pressure against my legs just like this and keep my hands nice and wide. And what I wanna do from here is I'm gonna rock forward onto my hands. Okay, so if this is the first time you've ever done this, try one leg at a time, okay? So notice I'm coming up high onto the balls of my feet first, and then I'm gonna rock forward, keeping a focal point on the ground. Bring one leg up, bring the other leg up, and then you can bring both up. This is called the crow pose, okay? One of my favorite yoga moves. So let's get into this together. I'm gonna start the timer since I won't have any hands. Okay, so hands nice and wide, grounded into the ground. I'm putting my knees behind my elbows, okay? I'm gonna rock up onto the toes of my feet. Like I said, raise one up, raise the other one up. And then when you feel comfortable, try to bring both up. If you fall out of it, that's totally fine. Try to come right back up. And time, relax. We got 10 seconds. We're gonna go right back into our last one, and then we're gonna close it out for the day. All right. Let's get it. Hands nice and wide. Knees tucked right behind those elbows. Come up high onto the balls of your feet. And let's fly. And time. Good job. Whew. Relax. Oh man, I'm gonna feel that one tomorrow. I thought this was recovery day. Okay, let's roll out those wrists both ways. Awesome. How do you feel? Awesome. Yeah. Cool, cool. So this is my Kalari-Flow class. Hope you enjoyed it. There'll be a lot more variations of this coming in the future. And let me know how you like it, how you feel about it, and any feedback on possible pronunciations of things. Awesome. All right, well, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye.